Hello everyone, welcome to my ECA for this week. I'm really glad that you have chosen to watch this video because I'm really excited about this club today. So this ECA is going to be based around story illustrations because basically I need your help. I have spent a little bit of time last year writing a couple of children's books, and it's one of my ambitions to get a book published. So I've got a couple of stories ready. They're all written, but what I don't have are illustrations to go with them. And because I'm aiming my books to be for younger children, they need to have some illustrations in them. Now, whilst I really enjoy writing, and I'm quite good at writing, drawing is something I'm not so good at, and I wish I was, but it's just not something I find easy. I've tried in the past to improve my drawing, and it has got better, but I think there's lots of you out there who could do a much better job than me. So, what I need you to do for me is to create the illustrations for my book. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to read the book to you. What I've done is on each slide, there's the pages of the book. So you can see what illustrations are needed for each page. Now, you might choose to do two separate illustrations for the 2 pages. You might choose to do one large illustration to cover both of the pages. But the illustrations obviously need to link to the sentences that are on those pages. Okay, hopefully it'll make a bit more sense as we go through. So when you're ready, I'm ready. The story that I've got for you today is one of 2 that I've written. This one is called Where Do They Go When It Snows? When it's warm and the sun is out, the brown bears plod and stomp about, scratching their backs on the forest trees and taking honey from the busy bees. They sniff out berries with their furry nose, but where do they go when it snows? When it's cold and the snow falls down, the bears are nowhere to be found. In their dens they go to sleep. For months they do not make a peep. They do not eat or hunt or play, but doze away the winter days. When it's warm and the sun is out, the squirrels scamper and run about, jumping from branches and scampering up trees, foraging for berries, fruits and seeds. They like to live where lots of trees grow, but where do they go when it snows? When it's cold and the snow falls down, the squirrels are nowhere to be found. In their cosy dens they lie, protecting the food they've piled high. They shiver to keep warm and eat their way through the freezing winter days. When it's warm and the sun is out, the frogs do hop and leap about, staring from lily pads with their bulging eyes, using their tongues to catch the flies. They're smaller and smoother than their friend the toad, but where do they go when it snows? When it's cold and the snow falls down, the frogs are nowhere to be found. At the bottom of the pond they lie, under a blanket of mud. But why? It keeps them warm, and there they stay through the freezing winter days. When it's warm and the sun is out, the honey bees bounce and buzz about. Between roses and lavender they fly, pollinating flowers as they pass by. In summer, the honey bees are out in their droves, but where do they go when it snows? When it's cold and the snow falls down, the honey bees are nowhere to be found. But look inside their home, the hive, and see they're keeping the queen alive. They vibrate to keep the cold at bay through the freezing winter days. When it's warm and the sun is out, the field mice dash and dart about, between the stalks of corn and wheat, gathering lots of food to eat. During the day they love to doze, but where do they go when it snows? When it's cold and the snow falls down, the field mice are nowhere to be found. They've left the field to try to find a house that they can sneak inside. Within the garages and roofs they'll stay through the freezing winter days. When it's warm and the sun is out, the humans are always about, cooking in gardens and soaking up rays, jetting off on their holidays. Gone are all their worries and woes, but where do they go when it snows? When it's cold and the snow falls down, the humans can still be found, wrapping up warm in hats and gloves, building snowmen with the ones they love. They continue to work and laugh and play through the freezing winter days. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the story. As you can see, there's a lot of repetition in there and it also rhymes. So you should be able to get a good idea from that as to how the story should sound. But obviously, as you can see, there's illustrations missing. The pages are blank. So that's where I need you guys to help me. Now, obviously, I also need a front cover. So as well as illustrations for every page, I need a front cover as well. Now, it might be that you choose to do illustrations for every page. That would be fantastic. It might be that you choose to do some illustrations just for 1 or 2 pages. That's absolutely fine as well. It might be that you just want to do the title page for me. No problem at all. But as you can see, on the front cover of that book, the illustrator is missing. So maybe it could be your name on the front of that book cover. Now, there's obviously lots of ways that you can do the illustrations. Some of you might choose to use an app to create them. I know some of you are already using apps to do drawing and sketching and things like that. So these are some of the best apps for drawing and sketching. Now, Procreate and Sketch Club, the first 2 on the list, I think they're paid apps, so you have to pay for those. So you'll need to get permission if you want to download those from the App Store. The other ones are all free, so if you wanted to download those and give those a try, then that would be great. Obviously as well, you can use practical resources, so you could use watercolour, or you could use just basic pencil crayons, coloured crayons if you wanted to. You could use chalk or pastel if you've got them at home. Basically any materials at all that you have available at home will be absolutely fine to use for these illustrations. I don't mind what they look like really. The main thing is that they're done by you guys and that they reflect what's happening at each part of the story. So once you've done your illustrations, you can email them to me. My email address is at the bottom of the screen there. And then depending on how many I get in from you guys, hopefully I can then choose some to include in the book and then hopefully get it published. So I'm really excited to see what you come up with. And yeah, look forward to seeing your entries later on over the next few weeks. Okay, thanks a lot.